Have you ever noticed how subtle changes in a woman's behavior can signal something far deeper than she'll ever admit? It's not just about her texting habits or how quickly she replies. It's about the shifts so small, yet so telling, that most men miss them entirely, until it's too late. Today, we're diving into those hidden transformations. The ones that happen not by accident, but because another man is quietly influencing her world. Before we begin, ask yourself this. Have you ever been blindsided by a breakup that seemed to come out of nowhere? One day things felt fine, and the next, distant, cold, detached. If you felt that confusion, the disorienting silence, the sudden emotional gap, then what I'm about to share might finally make sense of it all. Here's the first change you need to watch for. When another man is involved, even indirectly, a woman will start changing her appearance, but not in the way you might expect. This isn't about dressing up for you anymore. It's about dressing up for how she feels in his presence, or even how she imagines herself being seen by him. New clothes, different makeup, sudden interest in a style she never cared about before. These aren't random acts of self-care. They're subtle performances for an unseen audience. She may brush it off if you ask. I just felt like trying something new. Sure, but timing is never innocent. She doesn't just wake up one morning and feel reborn unless there's something, someone, sparking that desire. In fact, the more casual she seems about these sudden upgrades, the more deliberate they probably are. And here's where it stings. You won't recognize her anymore. Not because she's physically unrecognizable, but because the reason behind her choices isn't tied to you anymore. It's tethered to someone else's attention, someone else's silent approval. You might laugh it off at first. Oh, you're wearing lipstick now? Since when? But deep down, a small voice will whisper, since she started thinking about someone else. That's the emotional trigger most men ignore until it's far too late. But we're not here to wallow in fear. We're here to wake up. The first change is physical, but the next one cuts deeper, much deeper. Because after the surface changes, she'll start altering how she talks, what she says, how she says it. And that's where things get psychologically dangerous for you. You'll start to notice it in the little things first. Phrases she never used to say, jokes she didn't find funny before suddenly making her laugh. It's as if someone else's words are quietly slipping into her vocabulary, shaping the way she expresses herself without her even realizing it. And truthfully, sometimes she doesn't realize it. That's how influence works. It seeps in slowly, changing the way she communicates, the tone of her voice, even her silences. What's really happening here? It's simple. Emotional proximity breeds imitation. When another man becomes emotionally significant to her, whether they've crossed a boundary yet or not, his way of thinking, speaking, even his worldview begins to color her own. She starts mirroring him. Not you. Him. And here's the kicker most men miss. This isn't something she consciously broadcasts. It's coded beneath the surface. You'll hear her casually quoting opinions that don't sound like hers. You'll catch her defending viewpoints that seem to have come out of nowhere. Her conversations subtly shift. What used to matter between you, shared humor, familiar references, inside jokes, suddenly feels outdated, irrelevant. You'll find yourself thinking, who is she even talking to when she talks to me now? It's not paranoia, it's psychology. When a woman is emotionally leaning towards someone else, her words betray her before her actions do. And this is the moment where urgency creeps in. Because if you ignore this phase, the next shift becomes inevitable and far more difficult to undo. But here's a quick pattern interrupt. Ever notice how women suddenly develop an interest in weird hobbies during this time? Pottery, yoga retreats, salsa dancing? It's not random. Somewhere, there's likely a man in her orbit connected to that new interest. You laugh, but trust me, curiosity doesn't just sprout out of nowhere. It's usually planted. The change in speech isn't about hobbies, though. It's about alignment. She's aligning with someone new, testing out his words, rehearsing them in your presence, seeing how they fit in her mouth, in her mind. And the longer this phase goes unnoticed, the more distance it creates. You'll feel it. That slight disinterest in conversations that used to light her up. The vague, distracted way she answers. The way she seems present but not really with you. But what comes next? That's the hardest change to watch unfold. It's not about how she looks, not about how she speaks, it's about how she feels. And once her emotional loyalty shifts, even slightly, everything else collapses. When her emotional loyalty shifts, even by a fraction, it's not something you'll see explode overnight. It's a slow erosion, silent but deadly to the connection you once shared. This is the third and most dangerous change: how she behaves emotionally toward you. You'll sense it in the absence first, the absence of warmth, the absence of curiosity about your day, the absence of those small, reassuring habits she used to offer without thinking. Checking in, touching your arm when she laughed, leaning in during conversations. That emotional glue starts to dry up, and when you question it, she'll shrug, say she's tired, say work's been stressful. But the truth? Her emotional energy is going somewhere else now. To another man, attention isn't just time, it's oxygen. And she's begun breathing somewhere else. Think about this. When a woman starts emotionally investing in someone new, her tolerance for you diminishes. Things that once endeared her now annoy her. Your jokes don't land, your opinions irritate, your very presence feels heavy to her. And you're left wondering, when did I become a burden in my own relationship? This is how emotional affairs, often long before any physical boundary is crossed, steal a woman away. By the time her heart has shifted, her mind is already rewriting the story of your relationship. Suddenly, you're no longer the hero in her eyes. You're the cautionary tale, the man who doesn't get her anymore, the one she has to explain, apologize for, excuse in her mind when she's around him. Now here's the hard truth most men don't want to face. By the time you're noticing this shift, she's already emotionally tested life without you, in small, quiet moments, in texts, in conversations where your name doesn't even come up. But don't mistake this for hopelessness. Awareness is power. If you recognize these signs early enough, you're not powerless. But if you dismiss them, if you tell yourself she's just in a mood or it's just a phase, you're handing her over without a fight. It's time to pay attention. The changes in how she looks, how she speaks, how she feels toward you, they're not isolated. They're a pattern, a roadmap leading somewhere you might not want to follow, but knowing it's there gives you a choice. Confront it, or continue sleepwalking into heartbreak. If this message is hitting you in the gut right now, it's meant to. And before we wrap this up, let's leave on this note. Do you know how to reclaim her attention before it's too late? Or how to guard yourself from letting this happen again? Because that is where your real power begins.